Welcome back to IGN at Gamescom Now. 2 Point Hospital has been a hit on PC, and now it's coming to consoles. Here to tell me more is Ben and Lauren from 2 Point, and Max Scoville, a guy that doesn't like hospitals but will be convinced otherwise in a few minutes.
Well, it's going to be better going to the hospital because you get 2 Point Hospital on Switch now.
That's right.
Yeah.
In a second, we're going to look at some console gameplay running on PS4. This must be awesome for you guys to bring this game to consoles finally.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's actually been in our plan right from the very beginning. We wanted to bring it to console, but we knew that we kind of needed to give it the time to really refine the controls and figure out exactly how we wanted the user interface to work. And you know, it's nearly a year since the PC version came out, so we've had a really good opportunity to really focus in on reimagining all of the menus, right, Lauren?
Yep, absolutely. We've gone right back to the drawing board when it came to the user experience for the console version. We wanted it to feel like it was naturally made for console, not a PC port. So we spent a lot of time really getting the feel of the game right.
And so we're actually looking at the PS4 console gameplay right now. It looks awesome. For the uninitiated, this is essentially a hospital simulation game.
Yes.
But wait, don't be scared. But with a very wonderful comedic angle to it. I'll let you guys explain.
It's very much a light-hearted hospital simulation game. It's you take on the role of a hospital administrator, and you're building up this healthcare empire across 2 Point County. But you know, 2 Point County isn't your normal everyday sort of place, and the illnesses that you're going to run into aren't your normal everyday sorts of illnesses. So you know, you shouldn't be surprised to be seeing people with light bulbs for heads that need unscrewing and replacing with a new 3D printed head, and that sort of thing.
Which all have very wonderful punny names, like like Lightheaded.
Yeah, we embrace the puns, however terrible they might be. There's all sorts of weird illnesses in there, like verbal diarrhea. And animal magnetism, where they come in covered in animals, things
great.
like that.
Yeah. Pandemic, where people literally come in with pans on their heads.
Yeah.
And I was reading about the removal process for that, which involves a magnetic crane.
It's quite
not necessarily
violent
doctor
procedure.
recommended.
Expensive medical equipment. Now, could you talk a little bit about sort of the process of adapting a PC game into a console game and sort of the challenges there? And obviously, you're dealing with different hardware. But it's not just as easy as sort of dragging and dropping. You've also got to account for controls. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As I said before, we wanted it to feel like it was made for console, which it has been. We played around with a lot of different input methods, but we've really narrowed down on this camera control that you use to select everything in the game instead of your cursor. And we've been doing a lot of user testing, getting it into the hands of as many people as possible, so we can really refine it and make it.
Yeah, we've iterated quite a lot. I mean, it's quite terrifying the first time you do user testing, because inevitably there's something that's not quite right, and it is absolutely terrifying just seeing, oh my god, everyone keeps doing that. But it gives you that great opportunity to go back to the drawing board, tweak stuff a bit, come up with a new version, test it out. And I think we're really happy with how it's turned out, actually. Yeah.
But one of the great things about 2 Point Hospital is that right from the beginning we wanted a game that anyone could pick up and play.
Right.
So if you can build rooms, hire staff, you can play through the whole game. So we wanted that to feel really nice on the controller. But if you want that extra layer of depth, you can choose how much you want to charge for your vending machines, how much you want to charge for treatment. You can really get into really fine detail if you want to really optimize your hospital.
Now, what we're seeing here, it seems to be sort of early on in the hospital. They're ambitious. They're putting a lot of bathrooms down. And I believe strategic.
They're going to need them.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people just sort of mulling around the open areas. There's some garbage on the floor.
Yeah.
What's the sort of process like for like a new console player to start with something like this, and then how quickly did they start building up something that's, I believe, fully functioning, in quotes?
Yeah, this is actually a level from slightly further in. This is actually from Pebbly Island, which was one of the DLC packs that we've released for the PC version, and both that and the Bigfoot expansion packs are included in the console version. So this is Pebbly Reef on the coast of Pebbly Island, which is prone to some very strange weather events. And as you can see, it's already in a bit of a state and needs a medical license. It can't actually function as a proper hospital just yet.
So outside of the chaos that you'll deal with inside the hospital, there's also external factors as well.
Yeah.
Fun.
Now, can you talk a little bit about sort of the game's sense of humor? Because I think that some people play simulations and they want to get everything right and you get the trains running on time and everything. But this is definitely a bit tongue-in-cheek, and it's almost designed to go wrong.
Oh yeah. It's a game about spinning plates where you probably can't spin all the plates. We want the plates to fall over eventually. Certainly at this point in the game, you're a little bit further in. If you haven't really got to grips with some of the deeper management aspects of the game, then you might start running into trouble. I mean, this particular level, it's all about making sure you've got enough janitors to keep on top of all of these strange occurrences like frogs falling from the sky and things like that. So yeah, it's just all about making sure you've got enough staff, enough doctors, nurses, janitors, receptionists, to just make sure that the whole thing doesn't descend into absolute anarchy.
Now, outside of, I guess, like having a baby, going to a hospital is usually like not a place you want to go to. It's usually like something bad happened to you or someone else. So how do you take that very cold, sterile, sad environment and like make it fun?
You just have to come up with terrible puns, I think is the answer to that.
I appreciate that. That's exactly my humor level, so.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
weird, wonderful cure machines, as we've just had put down there, the identification.
Oh yes, it's the face stamp machine. Yeah. This is one of our slightly bizarre. Well, you'll probably see one of the illnesses coming in a minute. This machine basically will re-stamp a face onto someone who has sadly lost their facial features.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it is. It's quite upsetting.
Do you each have a personal favorite unfortunate malady that you encounter in the game?
I do like this one because the cure machine is just so ridiculous. It's so violent the way that it stamps the face back onto them.
Well, it's also if treatment potentially fails, when it doesn't quite go on properly, so they end up walking out with a very roughly drawn face.
Yeah, looks like a child has scrawled it on their face with crayon or something like that.
Now, in the middle of us discussing this horrible ailment, I believe a hurricane showed up. Was that like tiny tornadoes started whipping through the
mini tornadoes,
the lobby?
Yeah, that does tend to happen.
Does that not happen at your local hospital?
No.
We have much worse problems in the American healthcare system.
It's very true. So what do you do to sort of keep the patients like occupied and have, outside of like medical stuff and like hospital beds, is there fun stuff for them to do?
Yeah, they have all sorts of different needs and you want to make sure you look after them, otherwise they'll eventually just rage quit the hospital, as we call it, and go to another hospital. So you're going to have to think about, keeping them entertained, giving them enough food and drink, and just making sure they've got things to do, because when the queues start building up, that's when they'll start getting a little bit angry, or they'll particularly get angry if they can't find a toilet.
Yeah.
So that's very
magazine racks they can read and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But then you start getting arcade machines and things like that, don't you?
Now, we saw a screenshot floating around that had us both with a lot of questions, which is why were there ghosts in the hospital?
Why not?
Oh.
So yeah, this kind of goes back to what you were talking about before about trying to keep the hospital that lives in this world as being a light-hearted thing. So we steer totally clear of anything that could be like a real-world illness. But also, it's like, how do you deal with death in a light-hearted way? And our answer to that was, well, what if they turn into the cutest ghosts you can possibly imagine, and then a janitor comes along and sucks them up with their little vacuum cleaner?
Which could happen at regular hospitals. We just don't know. I mean,
yeah. I'm not a trained medical professional, so I can't say
or a
for
janitor.
sure.
So I mean, it could happen all the time. You mentioned arcade machines.
Oh yeah,
and these vending machines. Like I really like that sort of tactile placement of like fun little things that we have in our real world. How are those experienced here? Like there's one right now.
Yeah, in fact, your patients can go and play Sonic.
Really?
On an arcade machine.
Yeah.
It's the best way to keep them happy.
That's awesome.
I think the kinds of entertainment items we have are probably as ridiculous as some of the illnesses in some ways.
Yeah.
Certainly some of the things that you unlock later into the game are just maybe not things you would expect to see in a hospital.
I appreciate that, although I will say that if I walked into a hospital and there was like a Sega arcade cabinet in the lobby, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I don't know about how this medical procedure's going to go.
And loads of debris on the ground.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. They're getting on fine. Look, there's a few fire extinguishers down on the side. If anything goes wrong, it'll all be fine.
Yeah.
So in addition to hurricanes, what other sort of external factors can come in and really just cause problems?
So one of the things we've done is we've tried to establish these characters that live in the world of 2 Point County, and some of them will come and visit your hospital, and some of them are there for good reasons, like a pop star might come in and everyone loves this pop star, but then some of them are the head of a rival organisation, and they might be up to no good in your hospital. They, as far as actually sabotaging your machinery, you might notice sometimes there's the Jumbo McNally, who's the head of Jumbo Megacorp. He'll wander into your hospital and walk up to a machine and smash it with a spanner, and suddenly it sets on fire.
Oh, and don't forget the health inspector as well.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
Henry Jobsworth. He's very picky about. He would not be happy with what's going on here. I'm afraid.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
boy. I never thought about that. I always think of health inspectors going to restaurants. I guess hospitals would probably be a lot more for them to worry about. But
Hospitals have restaurants.
that's true. Yeah, that's how you shut down a hospital.
You can
so
build a cafe in here, and people with verbal diarrhea might throw up all over it. But who knows?
What's this man right here? He's walking between the sort of the craters. Oh, that's
yes,
that's
you've
the
got
janitor.
a janitor clearing up
What
the
was
mess.
causing those marks? There was like a small
Oh yeah, it's like a solar.
Solar flares.
Oh yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that in the hospital? Solar flares.
Oh.
They just flare.
Yeah,
flaring up.
That's definitely an ailment. Did you guys visit hospitals when making this game? Has this game changed hospitals for you?
How much research did you do at the actual hospital?
Did you mocap a hospital?
Oh yeah, it's highly realistic.
But when you go to one now, like for whatever reason, do you look around and you're like, well, this could use an arcade cabinet, or what if we moved the bathrooms over here?
Yeah, I think they could learn a few strategies from our game. To be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now-
You see a bit of fluid analysis going on there. That's
Is that what
one of
that
the
machine was?
diagnosis procedures.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
In fact, Lauren, you were saying that you have a bit of a phobia of needles.
I
and
do.
This did not help with that, unfortunately.
No, some of the animations, whilst I do love zooming right in and getting to see some of these patients being diagnosed and cured, that one I'll
Not
stay
so
away.
much.
Yeah.
And we've also got clowns in the game, and people have been talking about how clown phobia is a real thing. And so it raised the question: should we have a tick box to turn off clowns?
Yes.
Yes, there's the answer to that. Yeah.
I don't even make games. I can tell you that's a great option. I love that idea. Sure. You should be able to turn off clowns in every game.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, we got someone coming in for treatment.
Oh, he's
for,
face stamp.
look.
This will be good.
This is gonna be great. Uh-oh. It looks sort of comfy. Oh my God, no it's not.
Oh, I think this one went wrong.
He's got a skull over his head, which is not a good
Let's have a look
thing to
at
happen
see
in
if
a
we can see
hospital.
the face. Oh dear. In fact, it was so bad that it's
Is he
going to kill
hiding?
them.
He's hiding his face.
Oh,
It
wow.
killed him? The machine
Yeah.
that stamps him in the face didn't do a good thing for him?
What
and
have
it
they
tried
done?
its best.
Unfortunately,
It did not go well.
It might be
The
about to get
procedure-
one of those ghosts.
The procedure
Yeah.
was a failure. Oh no!
well,
He died.
Get him out of here.
Did he die?
Oh.
Oh
yeah,
my
oh
God.
Yeah, he's.
We could see if. Oh dear.
That's
oh
horrible.
dear. Do we have a ghost capture janitor available?
Oh, that's not
Paging
okay at all.
So wait,
Oh,
that man died during his his facial reconstruction surgery, and then in the middle of the lobby became a ghost, and is now
Yep.
tormenting all the people in this hospital. Yeah, we need somebody to come here and vacuum that.
Yeah,
ghost.
but-
Unfortunately, the one problem is in this level, all of the janitors are untrained.
What?
So you're going to have to train them in ghost capture before they will be able to actually capture that ghost. So I think we're getting into a bit of a pickle here.
I do appreciate that there was the one guy in the back still playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
Are there a ghost here? That's not my problem.
Yeah, but that's another fantastic thing with 2 Point Hospital. We have all these character interactions going on whilst the simulation's going on. So characters, as you see, when the ghost spawns, normally people will run away unless you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
That seems accurate, you know.
Yeah.
But staff also have character traits which can affect their behavior, can affect their mood, can affect other members' staff of mood, so they could make other people grumpy and not get in with other staff members.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of depth there for people that really want to get into that stuff. You should think about your hiring decisions, because you don't want to hire someone who's just really annoying and just upsets all the patients.
No, of course not. Now, obviously the game has a tremendously eccentric sense of humor and a very, very vibrant, active community of people playing it on PC right now. Hopefully consoles very soon. What are you guys getting like feedback from people that is like specifically weird? Because I feel like you guys get some strange emails.
I think, oh yeah, we did actually. Someone sent me a photo of lots of weird stretchy skin stuff going on, and I didn't know if it was a real thing or not. But they somehow found my email address and they just sent me some pictures. And I thought, unsolicited illness pictures.
I mean, were they thinking you would diagnose this?
No, they were like, put this in the game, please.
Oh.
Really?
Was it their skin?
I don't know.
Who could know?
We didn't want to ask.
Stopped reading after.
Have you gotten any feedback from actual medical professionals about the game?
From who?
From actual medical professionals.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
I
do
see.
any doctors or nurses go home and play this at the
My
end of the day?
sister is actually a GP.
Oh, nice.
Doctor, and when we first announced the game, I sent her the trailer that introduced lightheadedness, the light bulbs for the heads, and I'll be honest, she was actually slightly confused as to what it was. I think
it's a serious medical condition. She's probably very concerned.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a vending machine there with a snack inside it. I believe it was called, was it Cheesy Gubbins?
Cheesy Gubbins.
How do you guys come up with this stuff?
Well, we have a lot of fun. We want 2 Point County to feel like this not a real place, but a fleshed out world that has brands and products beyond the hospitals. And so, I mean, that's something you've been thinking about recently, isn't it, Laura?
Yes, yeah, the in-world branding for all these made-up companies. We put a lot of time and effort into fleshing out the world of 2 Point County and creating all these products and characters so it feels just like one cohesive world. So you'll hear radio adverts for particular products, or other characters will just appear over the channel.
You'll hear about the Jumbo McNally, the guy that wrecks your machines.
Up to no good.
Yeah. Or the pop star that might pop into your hospital. You'll hear her latest album on the radio, that kind of thing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And what's this being put down right now?
It's like gift shop?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just another way of keeping people happy, but that's going to need an assistant to work there. So you've got to kind of weigh up, is it worth paying the wages of another member of staff for the extra benefit that it's going to give to the patients in the hospital?
And whether you want to train up your assistant as well to make them even better at running that kiosk.
Oh yeah, teach them improved customer service and things like that.
Now, I know this is kind of a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital. I'm also getting some kind of Aardman Animations, Wallace and Gromit vibes. Have you guys gotten that before?
Ooh, yeah, the Aardman thing, that comes up quite a lot, actually. And I mean, I love the art style. I love what the artists have done with the game. I think it's so charming. You really get the personality of all of the characters coming across. And the other thing that's great about it is that it keeps it very readable. So even when you zoom out, you can still see exactly what's going on. It's very easy to see the details of what's happening, and the animations are all very exaggerated, so you can tell exactly who's happy, who's sad, who's angrily storming out of the hospital.
It would also be like legitimately horrifying and kind of Lynchian if you had these ailments in a photorealistic setting.
Yeah.
People are coming in with no faces on.
Yeah, quite harrowing.
Yeah, this is a much better alternative, nice and colorful.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a bit of training going on there. I think that they've decided that those ghosts are going to be a problem, so they're training their janitors in ghost capture, which is a good move.
Although I have just noticed, has he put down? Oh, okay, he does have aircon units, because in this particular level you also have to take into account the temperature of the hospital, so you've got to make sure your patients and staff are comfortable with aircon. We've got other levels where it can get a bit too cold, so another thing that you have to manage. Now might be a little bit too chilly, but
So,
bit overboard.
as we mentioned before, the PC community is obviously still thriving, and right after this segment, we're actually going to show the brand new trailer. But in the meantime, we do have some footage of the DLC 3 trailer that is the actual gameplay that is coming to PC.
This is an exclusive reveal for you guys. We've not forgotten about our PC audience. It's coming very soon, Close Encounters.
Okay, what can you guys tell us about this?
It's exploring another part of the county. Okay, so what we've got here is you can see this new part of the county. There's been some interesting things happened with flying saucers. There's been some kind of fireball that has gone across the sky and landed just near the little town of Goldpan in the south of the county.
It's causing some peculiar new illnesses in 2 Point County that you'll have to cure as they come through your new hospitals.
Yeah.
This looks like a terrifying place to build a hospital.
Yeah. So this is actually on the map. This is the 2 Point County map where you can jump between all of your hospitals. That's an important thing in the game, is to be able to jump between all of them, keep on managing earlier hospitals, that kind of thing. So this is Goldpan. This is a nice little town that's been encountering some quite strange illnesses since this strange saucer crashed landed nearby.
And there's perilous spandex too.
Yeah, that's the new movie from Roderick Cushion.
Yeah, well, it's actually one of his older movies. I think we're currently on Perilous Spandex 5, I believe, a stretch too far.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got your places like Roach Burger. Again, this is going back to the made-up products and things like that. You're a big fan of designing logos for these, aren't you?
I still can't believe my job is to create logos for some of these ridiculous companies. It's just so much fun. This is my favourite, Camouflage Falls. The ever so secret hidden base behind a failed housing development, which is very, very cleverly hidden behind some roughly painted billboards.
There's no way that anyone's going to spot that secret base behind those facades.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So how does the gameplay change as you move between these different areas? Like how okay, well this
is a classified area.
Well,
you shouldn't be seeing this, unfortunately.
Don't look, close your eyes.
Yeah. How did this get in?
blurred out entirely.
Oh dear.
So we can see some of the new illnesses here. We've got Flat Packed, where people have had unfortunate incidents with easy build wardrobes.
We've got some lack of humanity patients coming in at the front there. You can see checking into reception.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a whole new area. There's 3 new locations where people are going to be able to build their hospitals, and a whole new set of illnesses that people are going to be able to encounter. It's exciting. I think it's probably the maddest set of illnesses that we've come up with yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, you have a thriving community with. They're very active in the game. I see you guys keep tabs on sort of all the different stats of how the hospitals are doing kind of across the player base. What kind of, have you gotten sort of feedback that's directed what you've done with the DLC at all, or is this kind of you guys doing your own thing?
Well, I think we're always listening to the community, because there's always useful things to take from that, and we've done all sorts of updates to the PC version over the last year. I think we've just put out update 16.
Yeah, 1.16's recently come out. We're always listening to the community. If there's any quality of life updates we can get in as well to just make everything a bit easier.
Nice.
Well, thanks, guys. That's 2 Point Hospital. I'm very excited for it. If you haven't played it, it's coming to console, so check it out there. We have a new trailer, a brand new exclusive PC DLC 3 trailer coming up right after this. So if you need even more 2 Point Hospital, stick around. Don't go anywhere, because IGN at Gamescom Now continues right after this.